Hey, everybody. Good evening on this stormy North Texas night.
Yes. Ooh.
I know. Perfect time to have a podcast.
Yes. And to talk about Jefferson and
Jefferson, Texas.
Yes.
Thunder and lightning back here too.
Yay. We got it all going on tonight.
Yes. And some
People
freaky
don't realize
stuff.
how hard that we work to cue all that up.
Right.
Yes. And some freaky stuff going on with Carla's background showing Jefferson.
That is weird.
Well, we want to welcome our guest tonight, Jodi Breckenridge from Jefferson, Texas.
Well, thank you very much for having me.
Queen of Spooky.
Yeah.
Yay.
Queen of something. No, I'm glad to finally get to be here. I know we were supposed to do this one other time and I got sick, I think, and we didn't get to do it. So I've been looking forward to visiting with y'all.
Sure.
Yes.
Yeah, we got all kinds of good stuff to chat about tonight. Let's start with you.
Okay, well that's an odd. That's a slow subject.
Let's talk about how you got into all this. How you got into like the paranormal, the tours, the historical side of Jefferson, all that.
Well, I've always been intrigued by ghost stories, that even as a kid. And my mother instilled the love of history in me. So history and ghost stories, like I tell people, kind of go hand in hand. It's not a ghost story unless you know why it's a ghost story.
Right.
So I've always, been very interested in that kind of thing. And years ago, I was managing at the Jefferson Hotel for previous owners. And, we got to think, I thought, there's so many ghost stories here in town. I said, we need to start really, doing something with this. People love to hear the stories. So I had kind of planned a one weekend thing, and it had such a good reception. I thought, well, hey, next month, let's do it again. And it turned into an every Friday, Saturday night thing. And now we've been hunting ghosts for almost 24 years.
That's amazing.
That's the short version of how it started.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. And it's
so
goes
as
by
far
fast.
as the history goes, like how did you just start meeting with historians? Was it from just working at different places?
A little bit of the above, a little bit of all of that. I would visit with the old timers and, jot down history and things they would tell me. Did a lot of research, at the museum and the archives, at the library. And I did, for many, many years was very good friends with the town historian, Catherine Wise. And so, I had access to a lot of her records and stuff. So
Excellent.
honestly, that is where majority of my material came from, old court records, legal documents, newspapers. It's amazing the stuff that you can come across and find that, might have been lost if it, hadn't been for just coming across a piece of paper.
Right.
But that's where a lot of our information, comes from. A lot of research, years and years of research. Yeah.
I bet.
A lot of reading.
And I bet you come across more and more that kind of makes stuff that happened way back start to make sense.
Yep, that's true.
Like a little bit more and more of stuff gets uncovered or whatever.
Yep. And then you find something and you just want to dig a little deeper to find something else.
It's like it's like trying to solve a puzzle.
It is. And that's what's fun about it. I enjoy it. I mean, I love, starting to hunt for something. We'll hear a story and you'll dig until you find the information. And then it's like, well, wait, there's got to be more to it than this, you know? And
Yeah.
so then you start digging a little deeper until you find what you're looking for.
And that's
Excellent.
exciting and very
Yeah.
rewarding once you find it.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, there's a story from the Jefferson Hotel here that I had always thought was kind of a legend, and then pure dumb luck going through a stack of old newspapers come across the information, and I'm like, whoa, wait a minute, see, this really is true. And
Yeah.
so now we're still digging into that particular story to see if
Mhm.
there's some other things that connect together. It is, but it's definitely like a puzzle when you put it all together.
Yeah. It's kind of like an archaeologist in a way. You're on a dig, and then every
Yeah,
now and then you find a
exactly.
bone.
Yeah.
It's like,
No pun intended.
yeah, exactly.
Ah,
I didn't think
but
about
yeah.
that. Dun,
Right, right.
Oh my
I hope you
gosh.
don't mind. I'm drinking my coffee while I talk.
No,
Oh yeah, no.
Ooh.
feel
Oh,
free.
I've been at a room full of teenagers at the high school all day. I've got to have my coffee.
No, for
Yeah,
sure.
there you
Oh my
go.
gosh.
Yeah.
And
Mm.
24 years, that's a huge accomplishment, Jodi.
April will be 24 years, and that sounds funny saying that. It has gone by so fast, so extremely fast. It really snuck up on me.
I
Uh
bet.
oh. Nope. Oh, there we go. I thought I pushed something. Sorry about that.
Yeah.
Nope, nope,
Oh,
nope.
no. It's me. I pushed something. I put Joanne's comment. She goes, "Hello, ladies. I made my headphones work. Y'all look great tonight. Great to see everybody." Aw. Thanks, Joanne.
I'm going to have to take my glasses off to see. There we go.
Oh. Oh,
Now I officially look like the old lady. Here we
no.
go.
Then you can see.
Oh, gosh.
I have to put mine on to see.
Oh,
Well, you know what I tell people? It's embarrassing.
Just
You
the
know you're
reverse.
getting old when you have to put them on to see, take them off to see, and put them back on to hear.
Yeah,
What'd you say? I got to read your lips. I can't hear
that's
you.
right.
oh yeah.
Oh, gosh.
Oh my gosh, that's funny.
Mm-mm. And true. That's what's sad.
It's kind of like it makes me think of and it is funny, is that when you're not familiar with an area and you're trying to figure out directions, you have to turn the radio down.
Oh, yeah. Right.
Like that's going to help you
I
find.
know. Turn it
Yeah.
down.
It's like, I need to like focus.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Mm-mm-mm.
Right on.
Well, I'm looking forward to seeing y'all in Jefferson again. We're going to have a
Yeah.
big
Yes.
time.
Yeah. So talk to us a little bit about the History Haunts and Legends
That
event.
is coming up.
I
Yes. Oh, look at your
know. We
shirt.
got our
Represent.
shirts.
You got
We're
my favorite color.
representing.
Yay. I
Woo-hoo.
like that. Representing. You get bonus points for that, you know.
Yay. We like bonus points.
Yeah. No, we're looking forward to it. This is a biannual event that we do every spring and fall. This one, I believe, I'm losing track of my years now. We started it a couple of years after I started the Ghost Walk. So I want to say this may be 22 years. This is
Wow.
coming up on 22 years for the History Haunts and Legends event. And it's really grown over the years. You know, every event's a different event. You never know what's going to happen, who's going to be there. But we always have a lot of fun. We've got a lot of very interesting special guest speakers that'll come in and be speaking during the daytime, and vendors. And then the thing everybody always looks forward to, of course, is the nighttime investigations at some of the really neat special places we have here in Jefferson. And we've got teams, stationed at each one. So everybody gets to experience every team that's there, and they also get to experience the different locations. So they don't just get stuck at one. They're not going to miss out. They get to try them all.
Yay.
I tell you, for anybody out there that has not been to a History Haunts and Legends event, it's a amazing event. The vendors and the speakers that are brought in and that spend all day long selling their wares and speaking, and all the different levels of talent that comes in is just phenomenal. It's definitely a must see.
Well, I appreciate that. And I'm
Sure.
glad y'all have enjoyed it. We've got, and we have a lot of speakers that do come to each event. So we've got new speakers, and then we have, kind of like Old Home Week, we've got ones that come to every event for us. And they always have an interesting array of topics. They don't just, talk about the same thing every time they come. So
Mhm.
it's always interesting. We've got two ladies that are going to be talking about haunted castles this time. They've
Oh,
been to
nice.
Europe a lot and done some of the haunted places there, and so I think that'll be very interesting.
Mhm.
Mitch Whittington, which owns one of the most haunted places in Jefferson, the Grove, of course, is an author, and he's one of our featured speakers and has been coming to every single event that we've had except for the very first one because he didn't live here yet. And
Yeah.
he's actually going to be talking this time on the sinking of the Mitty Stevens, which was a steamboat that sank in the river on the way to Jefferson back in the 1860s. And it has some ghostly tales along with that as
Oh, I
well. So
bet. Oh,
that's
wow.
really going to
Man.
be an interesting topic for him.
And his house, the Grove itself is a
Hmm.
must-see. I mean, if you're
Yeah.
That
in town,
place, yep,
definitely, look the Grove up, and, he'll get
I
y'all set
teach,
up
yeah,
with appointments to come through, and it's
yeah.
an amazing tour.
Well, it's funny. I've always, and you know this because we talk a lot.
Mhm.
You know that I'm to be involved with this. I'm more of the skeptic, of course. I'm the one that's always going to really try and find logical explanations for things.
Which is
Not to
great.
say that I'm a lot more open-minded than I used to be, but I kind of go along the thing. If you want to see something bad enough, you're going to see it. Okay.
Mhm.
But
Yeah.
let me tell you what. This old girl has spooked herself pretty darn good several times at the Grove property. And there's nothing funnier than to see a fat girl run, but honey, I can move when I need to. And we were doing this is back when it was vacant. Okay. The guy that owned it prior had a restaurant there, and he had to shut the restaurant down because he could not keep staff working there
Oh,
because of
wow.
all the incidents that would go on. And it was vacant. I'm trying to think, 2, maybe 3 years before Mitch and Tammy bought it. And do you know that house had music that played in it 24/7? The previous owner said that he played the music to appease the spirits that were there that seemed to keep them happy. And I have a
Really?
funny story from the very first History Haunts and Legends event we did. That was when the Grove, not History Haunts and Legends, I'm sorry, back that up, getting ahead of myself. The very first ghost walk we did, we went on the tour and we ended up at the Grove property, which was a vacant property where we were going to kind of do a little wine and cheese kind of thing and tell a couple of
Mhm.
stories on the Grove. And the night before, I had gone to the Grove myself with 3 other women to go in and make sure things were set up enough where it would be okay because
Mhm.
it was an empty place.
Sure.
And we pulled up out front. The front door was locked, which was unusual because all the doors were always open. They didn't have to worry about anybody breaking in. Nobody wanted to get in there. And
Yeah.
so I had gone around to the back of the house with this other lady, and we're coming back that back side porch area to come up to the front to unlock the door for the other ladies. And I don't remember if it was really something there, if we just scared ourselves, but you felt something kind of brush past you in the dark going to the
Mhm.
front. So, of course, we're running up to the front, screaming and hollering like a bunch of goofballs, and we jerk the front door open. The ladies on the front porch are totally freaking out because her car, which was an older model vehicle, it did not have all the fancy gizmos back then where your lights would come off and on if you pushed a button. The headlights on her vehicle were coming off and on their own.
Oh.
That was our sign. We said, screw it, we're out of here. And we
Wow.
left. I was down there one time with a group of people that were doing a television show. And I was standing on the front porch talking to them, waiting to go in. And I felt somebody put their hand on my shoulder just like this, rather hard. And I turned around to look to see what he wanted. And there was nobody on that side of me. The man
Oh.
that was standing beside me was on the opposite side, and he was probably a good 4 feet away from me. Nobody there. And somebody definitely put their hand on my shoulder. Now, Mitch makes fun of
Wow.
me because he tells people I won't go in his house. But we did have something spooky happen one night down there during History Haunts and Legends. We had ended up before the investigations to do a little wine and cheese there because he doesn't allow people to do investigations in the home because, of course, they have to live there.
Yeah.
So we're
Right.
never allowed to do investigations there, but we've gone in before. And they were kind of making jokes and making bets on whether Jodi was going to go inside the grove. Well, I went. And as I'm standing there, a book on the shelf in the library went flying across the room,
Oh my
hit the wall, fell
gosh.
on the floor. Of course, everybody's like, oh,
It's because Jodi's here.
well, I'm thinking
Yeah, exactly. It's because
I'm thinking
Jodi's
they staged it, y'all. Okay, I'm going. Ooh, I'm scared, being real, sarcastic. Do you know that was real? They didn't stage it for me. And there was
Oh.
a group there that had been videotaping. It was a group out of New Orleans, and he actually captured on the audio of that tape. You can hear a voice on the tape because I was going, oh, I'm scared, being real
Mhm.
sarcastic. You can hear a voice on that tape say, "You're not scared yet."
Oh.
Ooh.
I think that was the last time I was in the Grove.
Oh.
Oh
Dang, I
man.
want to
Yep,
go
but they
back.
make fun of me.
Yeah.
I
If we
work
go
with
back,
his
we gotta
wife at
take
the high
Jodi.
school, and she keeps me updated on the stories down there.
Oh my gosh. It is an amazing place.
Mm,
Y'all have to
very
take some
interesting.
tours.
Yeah.
Go there.
He does a
Anytime you stop in
phenomenal.
Jefferson, you can look him up, and
Yeah, he does a great job. He's a very
yeah,
good storyteller. Y'all
he's
will
a very
definitely
good
enjoy
speaker.
him.
Yes.
Yeah.
He does a great job there at his house on the tour.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah. Well, if next time we go to the Grove, we'll make sure to take you with us, Jodi.
I may
Maybe
sit on the
we'll do a
I'll sit
little
on the
wine and
front porch
cheese
and drink
thing,
my
and
coffee while y'all go in.
we'll go in there, just the three of us. We'll go in there with set up for like a little wine and cheese thing in the
Right.
front area just to see.
Oh man, I'm telling you.
We'll have to
It's
introduce you to the
lively.
house.
It's lively. Oh, a
Yeah,
lively place. Mm.
it's a good place. So, what are some of the other
Well, I can
houses
tell
or
you where we're.
businesses that
Yeah.
that can be offered up like in the past on that you've had on the
We've done
HHL?
several places on the History Haunts and Legends event as far as our nighttime locations.
Mm-hmm.
Over the years, we've used some several times, but places that we used to use that we no longer go to because private owners have bought them. One is called the old Siegel Wharton House. That is a house directly across the street from the Magnolias, which is a beautiful home that we
Mm-hmm.
often use and we'll be using at this event.
Mm-hmm.
But the Siegel Wharton House was actually owned way back in the early 1900s by Lady Bird Johnson's brother. And we used to use that one all the time because the house was vacant. And let me tell you, that place had some phenomenal evidence that was actually recorded. I don't want to give a whole lot away because a lot of it we have put on um, Facebook and stuff where people can kind of go in and
Sure.
hear some of the things that they captured. But that would be one location. We've done the French Townhouse. We've Oh my goodness, we've done so many over the years. There's several that I've been promised that we're going to get access to, and I'm keeping my fingers crossed that one of those is definitely going to be up for us for the fall event. It's a
Mm-hmm.
beautiful old home. Used to be owned by a banker here, but it has some tragic history. And like I tell people on the Ghost Walk tour, anywhere there's a location that has got abundance of tragic history associated with it, that
Mm-hmm.
is normally the locations that we do get a lot of documented activity.
Excellent.
And but I know for this event, for sure, we're doing the Old Mill, which we haven't done in a while. We're doing the Magnolias, the Con Hotel,
Mm-hmm.
the I just went blank. The Jefferson Hotel. I need my list. I don't even know where we're going. Coach, I need that
There's a
coffee
lot.
medicine. I thought I did. Oh, the old Myers building, the old Neil, the Con, the Jefferson, the Magnolias. And
Mm-hmm.
there's another one that I'm going to find out about for sure. They said they'd let me know for sure by Friday or Saturday. So I'm not going to tell you where that is in case we don't get it, but if we do, it's good.
Ooh,
Nice.
dun, dun,
How
dun.
exciting.
Yeah, we always like to have, 5 or 6 places so everybody can
Sure.
experience. They're all a little different. Some are empty, really creepy old locations, which you kind of anticipate going to on an event like this.
Yeah.
But then we have some that are beautiful, beautiful old homes that are used for Airbnbs or bed and breakfast, or some of these
Mhm.
locations are actually private homes where people live there, and
Mhm.
they're kind enough to let us use it during these 2 events,
Yeah.
during the year. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, so y'all should go and check it out because it's
Mhm.
really cool going to different location, and it's multiple locations. Each place is different. Some are spookier looking than others.
Right, that's
Yeah.
true. Yep. And what's
So,
That's
funny is
true.
sometimes, it's the ones that you think, oh, this is so beautiful. How is this spooky? Pow. And they're the ones that
yeah,
give you the
get you the most. Yeah.
But yeah, it's really organized, y'all, the way it works now. We've kind of got it down to a routine. You're assigned to start at a certain location, and we limit the number of people that are with each group as they move from place to place. So that way it's a little better atmosphere where you don't have 50 people trying to go through one place at a
Yeah.
time.
Yes.
We like to
Makes
keep
it
it about
easier
15 people. Yeah,
to
about
hear
15
about.
people or so through each location at a time. And that
Yeah.
way you're able to, interact better with the teams that are there. And of course, we have people that come to these events that are, novice ghost hunters. And we've got people that have been doing this for years. And then we have people that have never, ever been to something like this. And they're just very interested and intrigued
Yeah.
with it. And so it's nice to be able to have them come and actually be able to talk to people that do this all the time and, let them learn a little bit.
Yeah. Have a pretty positive experience. Yeah.
Yep,
Yeah.
definitely. Yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah, it's
So
really cool
for
learning about the history.
Hmm.
yeah, I was just gonna talk, yeah, a little bit about that, the history of the houses. So
Hmm.
um whether the homeowner or the team or whoever is
Right.
going to talk about the history of the house, they'll get
Hmm.
at least the background of the
Oh,
house
yeah.
or the business or the location.
Right.
Um,
I always try to, when the guests check in to pick up their name tags, I give them a packet of information as well, so that way they have time during the day to kind of go over the information, because we like to give, a brief, paragraph or two history of the home.
mhm,
And then, of course, a couple of the top stories or things they've experienced there. So
sure.
when they get there with the teams, they already have kind of an idea about
Yeah.
the location, and then they can learn some additional, you know,
Hmm.
by the teams that's there. But it gives you a chance to kind of do a little, digging yourself before you get there. So you're kind of
Yeah.
prepared for where
Yeah.
you're going, which is fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. Makes
And
it,
will the guests be able to um maybe use some of the equipment, or are
yeah.
they there
Oh, yeah,
just to
definitely. Yeah.
okay.
Every team is different. Most teams do bring equipment with them.
Hmm.
And they'll sometimes divide, say there's 4 to a team. There'll
Hmm.
be 4 different people. They take, part of the group to a different area with each of the individual team members, and they all have different equipment, and they'll show them what the device is used for, how they use it.
Nice.
And then they get them, show them, let them hold it to see how it works.
Hmm.
Sometimes, people have a lot of, you know, gizmos and gadgets, as I call them. And sometimes people use something as simple as, the rods.
Hmm.
Um, some people have it really set up with screens and TVs and stuff. And, everybody does their own thing. It's all a little different. And that's
Which
what
makes
makes
it
it
fun.
interesting.
Oh,
That's what,
yeah,
yeah,
absolutely.
that's what
Yeah,
makes it interesting for them, I
yeah.
think, is they get to experience the different ways of actually doing it.
Yeah, and that
Hmm.
there isn't just one way of
Right,
trying to
exactly.
communicate
Hmm.
either,
Right.
it's
Yeah,
fun to
definitely.
experiment and then find new ways.
Yeah.
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 But we've got, like I said, a lot of neat places set up to go to. And then again, of course, a lot of neat people that are coming back. Kathleen Macca, she does the Galveston Ghost Walk tours, and has several books and history books actually on Galveston. She'll be speaking at the event again this time. And she's actually going to be speaking on haunted genealogy and proof of life after death kind of stuff, which I think will be
Really?
really interesting.
Wow.
Yeah.
Do you know when you might have the this is for my benefit, really? Do you know when you might have the agenda? Like,
Yes, actually, I'm hoping this weekend to go ahead and have it out. I've
perfect.
got, I believe I got the last speaker's presentation topic this afternoon, so we're all square to go now. So I'll get it printed up and have it posted probably by Saturday, Sunday at the
Nice.
latest.
Yeah. Are
Yeah.
you able to give us a little heads up on your speakers?
Sure. Yeah. Like I said,
Yay.
this time we've got Kathleen, which I just spoke of,
Mhm.
Dr. Rita Louise, which has been many times. She's also one of the guests that's been coming since the very first, very first.
Wow.
Of course, Mitch Whittington,
Mhm.
Teal Gray. I don't know if you're familiar with
Yeah.
Teal. She's
Mhm.
used to come all the time, and then there was a couple of events she had to miss. So we're glad that she's back. She was back
Yeah.
last event. She'll be back again this time. Nikki Folsom from the Austin
Mhm.
area. She's been several times. Tanya McCoy, which does the Oklahoma Paracon. She'll be back. We have, who am I forgetting? I should have wrote these down. I'm sitting here thinking off the top of my head, y'all.
Dakota?
Dakota will be back. And actually, his gallery this time is going to be in the main, what we call our main speaking area. We always kind of have him in his own private little spot, but he's going to go a little bit later this time. And he's doing a duo gallery. He's got a lady that is new to HHL. Her name is Colleen Lombardi. And Dakota and Colleen have been working together now for quite some time. And he's bringing it to Jefferson. So that'll definitely be interesting.
Wow.
And just so people are kind of prepared when they get here now, um, the tickets, the way we do our tickets for History Haunts and Legends is we do 3 different optional tickets. Some people just want to come for the speakers. You know, they don't
Mhm.
want to do the ghost hunt. They're tired or they're old. And
Right.
so we offer a daytime. I'm just kidding. We offer a daytime ticket for those who just want the speakers. And then we do a nighttime for those who just want the nighttime. And then we do what we call a VIP ticket, and that is for the whole event. You can do everything. The only thing the VIP ticket does not cover is the gallery event with Dakota and Colleen because that is strictly their thing. That is a separate
Mhm.
optional ticket. So if you wanted to do that, that would be something you would have to buy tickets at the door for.
At the
But they're,
door. So
yes,
not in
ma'am.
advance, at the door.
Yeah. Now they can call the number there and go ahead and put their name down to hold and reserve those tickets for them. But they have to go, funds goes directly to Dakota and Colleen. So we
Okay.
just wait and do those at the door for them.
Okay.
Yeah.
So your 903 number?
Yes, ma'am. 903-601-3375.
Perfect.
Yeah.
I put that
And
into the
so there,
comments.
you
Yay.
think that they are going to, they'll do theirs towards the end of the
Yeah. Yeah. I
Saturday?
believe they're set to go on at 4:30. And our last speaker winds up at 4:30. So as soon as our last speaker goes on, then they will go ahead and take the stage and they'll have that gallery in there, usually about an hour and a half or 2 hours.
Wow.
Yeah. Depends on how long-winded they get.
Yeah.
Who
Yeah.
they're talking to, what's coming through.
Yeah.
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 But
I think that would be fascinating.
it's really, he's been coming for quite a few years and he has a following. There's people that come every single year just to come, to Dakota's gallery.
Wow.
Yeah, that
Excellent.
is. Yeah, but
And
we've
then
got
your vendors.
vendors. Yes, we have a kind of a little different thing this time. Of course, our regular vendors will be there, but there's a lady that actually has what she calls a haunted traveling museum, and she's
Really?
going to have that set up in the vendor area this time. So that
Wow.
should definitely be interesting. And
Excellent.
then, we only get a short hour break at lunchtime to, make sure we squeeze everybody in. So we actually have some food vendors that'll be there this time. There's going to be a taco truck. Everybody likes
Perfect.
tacos. And
Everybody
then
likes
we've got a lady here in
tacos.
Jefferson that is famous for her burgers. It's BG's. Excuse me, BG's Burgers. So she'll be doing her hamburgers out there too.
Sounds good too.
That way, if you don't want to have to go all the way down the street to wait in a restaurant, you can get you some fast food if you're hungry.
Nice.
Yeah.
Excellent.
But I know
Yeah.
there's a couple of people that are normally on our list to speak that had prior engagement that won't be here. One would be Greg Lawson won't be here until the fall, but we've got Greg Stevens going to speak in his place this time, and then Larry Flaxman from Little Rock, Arkansas. He's always one of our featured speakers as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't
And I
think
know
I'm
I'm probably
familiar
forgetting
with
somebody,
him.
so if they're listening to me, I do apologize.
Martha.
And Martha. See there? I already forgot. Martha will be here. Yes, Martha for sure. I'm thinking I still
Yay.
feel like I'm forgetting somebody, y'all.
I don't have the.
There's
I know.
Nikki,
Well,
Mitch, Larry,
yeah, Kathleen, Rita, Mitch, Greg, Teal, Larry,
Susan.
Susan Hill. Susan Hill.
Yeah.
Yeah, Susan, she always does such a neat job. I've used her in our investigation so many times, and she's one of the ones that does the divining rods.
Oh,
And
nice.
it's really pretty interesting to watch. But anyway, Susan is Nikki, Tanya, Dakota, and Colleen, and Martha. I hope I'm not forgetting anybody, and if I am, I apologize. It'll be on the itinerary soon.
Yes. And on our Facebook, I posted a picture of the flyer and the event on
Oh,
Facebook,
great! Thank
and
you.
I'm
Yeah.
moving on to YouTube, and I'm going to post it in there as well in the
Well, I
comments.
appreciate that.
Yeah.
Thank you so
And then
much.
as soon as you do any updates this weekend, we'll make sure that those go out.
I appreciate that. I will get them to y'all just as soon as they're ready.
Sure.
You know, every time I get it ready, there's always a last minute change.
Well, that happens no matter what.
Yeah, things
Then
happen.
that can be like the surprise.
That's right. That's right. You know, there was one year where, and I'm trying to remember who it was now. There was one year we had a change there at the end. Somebody had gotten sick and couldn't come. And we ended up getting, within like 2 or 3 days, we ended up getting somebody to come in. I'm trying to remember which event it was and who it was that we had come in. It was somebody that normally you have to book them a year in advance to get them to come, and they popped in and filled in for us. So it's always
Wow.
interesting. You never know who might pop in or pop out.
That's okay.
Yeah.
Though. That's
what makes
fun.
it fun. I like to surprise
Yeah.
people.
Yeah.
That makes it more interesting. Say, hey, guess who's coming?
Yeah. Surprise.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Exactly.
that's it.
So can you maybe just give our viewers just a little bit of maybe the admission to the events?
Yes. We do, like I said, 3 optional tickets. Daytime only ticket is $35, and that's just to come in and do the speakers and stuff. We do a VIP ticket, which is actually everything but the gallery. Those are $135. For the early birds, we did have an early bird special up until March the 1st. If you bought your ticket by March 1st, you got a discounted VIP ticket. They were actually $15 off. So we did have some people jump in and do that real quick
Nice.
before March the 1st. We always try to do that because we have so many people that have been coming to this event for years, and they come, all the time. And so we try to do that as a way of saying thank you for coming
Thank you.
and enjoying
Yes.
our events, to give them a little extra something. But we open that for everybody. If you're know that you're coming and you get in there and get that ticket by then you get that discount. But the VIP tickets are $135, which is basically a daytime and a nighttime ticket put together. So
Okay.
it's we've had the same pricing now, I guess about 4 years. We've tried not to go up on our pricing, but we try to make sure that we, are able to compensate all the people that do help us in the homes, the locations that are actually kind enough to let us go into their houses and things. We
Oh, for sure.
we like to help them.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
The gallery?
the gallery is usually $40, but they're doing it different this time because of it being the duo thing. I believe he told me that was 60 this time.
Okay.
Yeah. And of course, we always tell people, just because you go into the gallery doesn't mean that he's going to read you or that she will read you. It's kind of whatever comes through. I don't know if any of y'all have ever been to one of those before, but they you know, like I say, we've got people that have been coming, kind of following him, I guess. They come every year just to go to Dakota's gallery.
That's
So,
very cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
one of these days, I'm going to get to go in there. I've never got to go in there because
Oh my gosh. You always
I-
sit out in the middle in the office area.
I'm always out in the middle, bossing everybody
Yeah.
around.
You never get a chance.
I'm always out there being bossy. I don't get to do any of the fun stuff.
Oh,
One of these days, maybe. And I've got a lady coming in this time that used to come a lot. Her name was Wendy. And we used to love it when she would come because she's a photographer and she would take some of the best pictures.
Oh,
and she's
nice.
going to be coming in this time to go ahead and do some pictures for us. So we get a lot of really good shots of HHL.
Excellent.
And
cool.
I need to find somebody to go in there and do some video for me. So some of the presentations I want to see and hear, and I can't. That way I've got it on tape and I can watch it later.
Yeah.
You can sit back and kicked up in your
Yeah.
recliner with your
I could-
jammies on and
That's
hit the
it. I could-
remote.
In your coffee.
And I could have it right there in front.
That's
Not even
right.
I'd be as comfy as I can be.
Yeah.
Oh, I love it. Love it.
And
Oh,
you gotta
gosh.
have coffee.
I've got to have my coffee. I guess y'all can tell
Yes.
I am a coffee drinker.
Me
I drink-
too.
I drink coffee before I go to bed at night, and it does not keep me awake. Oh,
Yeah,
my
same. I love
Mhm.
coffee. I could drink it all day, every
Yeah.
day.
I do. I tell people to drink it before I go to the bed. They kind of look at me like I'm crazy. Doesn't bother me.
Yeah.
I love my coffee.
Yes. Tastes so good.
Oh, goodness.
Excellent.
Well, I'm glad that y'all are going to get to come and investigate this time. I know that's
Yeah.
going to be so much fun.
We're
Yeah,
excited to
forward
help
to
you
it.
out and
Yeah.
get to
Mhm.
go back to Jefferson. There's such a draw for us and our team.
Well, it just has a vibe, doesn't it?
It
It
does.
does.
That's what people tell me.
It's
They'll
just one
come
of
in
those
and they'll
things
go,
where once we're driving away, it's just like we need
Yeah.
to plan another one.
yeah.
Yes.
They
Another
tell me
trip
it just
back
kind of
out.
has its own little vibe. They said as soon as they hit the streets, they feel it. It's just
Yeah.
a neat place. Which, of course, it's an old town. You have places where you have old buildings and old houses and stuff, but there's so much. I mean, there's more old than there is new in Jefferson.
Yeah.
Everything's old, and I think that's
Mhm.
what makes it really fun and interesting.
And
I
it's
love
Definitely
the
a draw.
the whole
antique
place
stores
is
there
haunted.
too.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, just driving down 49
Mm-hmm.
with all the tall trees, going
Oh, yeah.
from North Texas to get into East Texas.
Mhm.
You're in East Texas because all the trees get taller.
Yeah.
And
Wait a minute. There's trees here.
yeah,
Yeah.
not short and stubby, so just driving into East Texas
Mhm.
and going through 49, you're getting closer to Jefferson.
Right.
And then once you hit Jefferson, it's like another part of like an extension of like Louisiana because it has
Mhm.
that
Yeah.
feel
It
with
does
that
definitely
vibe,
has
yeah.
that feel to
buildings.
it. It does. And
Yes.
Jefferson is absolutely beautiful, y'all, in the springtime. The azaleas are out everywhere. There's flowers everywhere. It's so lush and
Mhm.
green. The wisteria's hanging everywhere. It's gorgeous right now. Well,
Ugh.
not right now. It's raining, but it
Yeah.
was pretty.
Yeah.
It was pretty yesterday.
Today's an exception.
Well, all that rain will help everything bloom.
That's what's making
Yeah.
it green, I guess. I shouldn't complain
be-
about the rain, but
It'll be gorgeous in a
um,
couple weeks.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
be here before
Can't
we know
wait.
it.
Yeah.
I know. It's like right around the corner.
It's about 2 weeks. Yeah.
I can't believe it's like towards the end of March.
Yeah. It's hard. It is. What have we got? 2 weeks and 2 days before HHL? Yeah. I guess that's
Yeah.
about right.
Yeah.
Isn't today the first day of
Always,
spring?
it's
Oh no, I
always,
thought the 19th was. Was the 19th the first day of spring?
I
I
thought,
think it
yeah,
was the
18th or
21st.
19th, wasn't it? I remember seeing
Yeah.
it on Facebook. Everybody was talking about the first day of spring.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Somewhere in the last couple of days, it was
Yeah.
spring.
Yeah.
But it's been nice because everything just looks beautiful. Everything's
It
blooming
does.
and
I'm ready for spring.
yeah.
Spring and fall are definitely my favorite times of year.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I'm ready for the spring. I'm sick
Summer's
of the
not so
cold.
much.
Yeah, I got to have some. I don't know, but my allergies don't particularly care for the spring.
No,
Yeah.
it was a bad spring for me or coming into it. I was like
Oh.
miserable.
Yeah,
Well.
me too. I don't know. It affected my allergies big time.
Mhm.
Yeah. No
Yeah.
fun. But
Yeah.
definitely looking forward to it. I keep trying to remember. I know when we're finished here, I'm going to go, oh my goodness, I didn't tell them such and such because there's so many neat things going on. I know
Well,
I'm
I was
probably
gonna
forgetting
say,
to tell
if
you
you
something.
don't, if you wouldn't mind, I mean, you can say no and it's totally okay,
Hmm.
but I was just wondering, like, um, some of the stories from your tour. I
Oh, I
just
don't mind sharing a
love, like,
story.
the
Sure.
stories from the con to the Excelsior, and
Hmm.
if you would wanna
Yeah,
to
there's
share?
so many neat stories. Let me tell you one. I'll tell you one from the con, since of course the con's going to be on the History Haunts and Legends.
There you go.
The con, of course, is now a coffee shop and a hotel for those that aren't familiar with Jefferson or haven't been. And it used to be an old saloon. And when I first started doing the Ghost Walk tour 24 years ago, this was the dark, dusty, creepy, dilapidated location, okay? And it was spooky. It was creepy. And so I kind of joke with people now. Tell them don't let the new paint job fool you. This
Uh-oh.
place is still on a scale of 1 to 10. This booger is still a 10. This place is something else. Um, there's always certain things that are associated with haunted locations. You read about it, you watch movies about it. The phantom footsteps, the feeling of not being alone when you know that you are, catching glimpses out the corner of your eye, out of your peripheral vision, unexplained breezes, electrical malfunctions. All of this stuff goes on in this building. And I got to tell you that over the years, I have really experienced some weird stuff in this building. I have ran out the front of the building with everybody on the tour coming right up behind me because of stuff that would happen up there. But I think the one story I want to share actually has to do with the new owner that in the past 2 years sadly has actually passed away. But he didn't believe the stories when I would tell him. I said, this place is haunted. Oh, I don't believe in that nonsense. I'll be fine. Well, he had renovated the old apartment in this building for him to use as his own private suite. That was going to be his place to stay when he came to visit Jefferson. And incidentally, the suite is where we're going to be investigating. And
Nice.
he was
Wow.
up there one night right before they opened. I think it was about a month before they opened. And he said he was there alone, obviously, and he'd locked everything up for the night. And he said sometime in the middle of the night, well after midnight, he wakes up and he said he can hear footsteps right outside of his doorway. And he said it's really heavy footfalls, like a man wearing boots. And he said you could hear him going up and down the hall right outside his door. And he said this went on for quite a while. And he had turned on his computer screen. He's looking at the security cameras. He said, I know I locked everything up. But he's looking at the front door, the staircase, his doorway, his hallway. He said there's absolutely nobody there. And he said it finally stopped. And he said after about 15 minutes, I mean, it really shook him up, scared him to death because he was Mr. Skeptic. And a couple of months later, he had come in for the weekend and he's sitting up there watching a football game. And he said his Echo Dot that was sitting over there kind of behind him on the sill went flying across the room, knocked over an antique vase and broke it,
Oh,
hit the new stainless steel refrigerator he had just put in the kitchen, and landed in the middle of the kitchen floor. He said, that's it, we're out of here. He got
wow.
up in the middle of the day, got all his junk together, went down to the girl at the front desk and told her, he said, you're going to be able to start renting that room up there like you did the rest of the place. He said, I'm not staying here anymore. And he did. He bought property down the street, and the suite is now a room that everybody can stay in. But
Wow.
he said, heck with this, he didn't even stay the night. He just got up and left. But there are a lot of what I call wild stories that you might read about that definitely are not true, but there's so much that is true. We've been up there before. I actually I was wearing a watch one night, and my watch literally opened on my arm, hoovered in the air. Okay, guests were totally freaking out, just kind of hanging in the air, and it kind of flew off and like flew off my arm and went somewhere. Do you know we never did find my watch? I have no idea what
Oh.
happened to my
Wow.
watch. It's gone. A lot of unusual pictures, a lot of shadows.
Mhm.
we'd be standing there knowing it was definitely not us, and you would see shadows moving along the walls. So they do have the shadow people. There is definitely an older man that they talk about, tiny, not very tall, kind of like you might see at the turn of the century, little derby hat,
Sure.
little tweed suit. And then there's another gentleman that they talk about quite often that people claim to see, completely opposite description, very tall, wears a long duster type jacket, pants tucked in his boots, and he's seen everywhere. And, people always ask me, who are they? Who are the, I don't know. Jody's not talking to them, all right? I don't care who they are, as long as they're not talking to me. But people do like to speculate. We do know that there was a deputy and a man that was always arrested that had actually got into a little altercation there when it was a saloon, and they shot and killed each other in the front of the building, just inside the door, I should say. So a lot of people, want to think it's one of them that, they might have passed away. Or, but there's also a gentleman that was shot and killed in front of the building back in, actually it was Christmas Eve, 1872, named James Wardell Gorman. So a lot of people call the ghost James. And the reason why they actually call him James is there was a photograph taken in the building, which people get pictures all the time, but there's definitely a photograph that was taken after a tour one evening with the owner standing there, myself, and a lady that took the photograph. There was nobody else in the building. But in this lady's picture, right behind the owner standing, is another man. You can clearly see him from about the head up. So he was an extremely tall man. You can see his beard, his hair. I mean, it's absolutely phenomenal. It's one of the best pictures I think I've ever seen that's supposed to have a ghostly picture in it, because I was actually standing there. There was nobody there, And what is really interesting is when you look at that picture that was taken years ago and compare it to the photograph that we have, or the old portrait, I should say, of James Wardell Gorman. They could be twins. Looks like the same person.
That is freaky.
So
Yeah,
it's wild. I always tell people, go to the Facebook page and go to the pictures. Sometimes you got to scroll way back because some of these pictures have been there a long time. But we do have some of the pictures that we talk about on the tour that people like to share, that you can actually go in and look at the photographs.
Oh, wow.
Yep.
That's amazing. Gosh.
I'm sorry. I don't know. I thought I saw something pop up, but I wasn't paying
Oh,
attention.
yeah. Joanne had made a comment about somebody staying in the suite.
Yeah, she said, "Oh, someone must stay the night there," and she goes, "That's child play. That's child's play compared to the places she lived." Yeah.
So, Jodi, when it comes to the HHL
Mhm.
event, for instance, since that room is one of the investigation rooms, I'm assuming that nobody's booked that room for that night.
That room has not been booked for the night. No.
Okay.
No. Now, if somebody wants to stay the night there, they're welcome to stay after it's all over with. It's available. No, I'm telling you, I cannot wait for them to get up there. Whoever is going to be leading that investigation better be ready, because that is a very, very active location.
Wow.
It definitely will get your attention. I know, I probably tell this on the tour, but right after Eric quit staying there, the man that, was no longer going to stay up there, and they started renting that room out. It's a big area. So during the tour, if it happens to be a night where we don't have any guests staying in that particular room, she'll let us go up there and share the stories upstairs. And
Nice.
we were standing up there during a tour, and I had about 35 people up there. And the chair at the dining room table pulled out by itself while I'm talking. I'm facing ahead, so I'm not paying any attention to what's going on behind me. I heard it. I just assumed somebody pulled the chair out to sit down, and people were hollering and screaming and carrying on. And they said the chair had just pulled out by itself. No one sitting at the table where somebody might have, pushed it with their foot or something. It was just moving up. That was one of those times we were down the stairs and out the front door. Yeah. People think it's funny. I'm the one leading the tour, but I'm the biggest chicken out there, y'all. I promise
Oh
you.
my gosh.
I like the stories as long as something's not talking to me or touching me. I'm doing good.
Just
Yeah.
let me tell your story.
Just let me tell your story. You can go poke somebody else.
Man.
Oh gosh.
We're definitely excited. We're excited for this. It sounds like it's
We've
going
got
to be
some
an
neat
excellent event.
places. I'll let y'all know in the next day or two where you want to be. Where you going to be?
Mhm.
All right.
Yay.
Perfect.
I'll make sure it's somewhere you haven't been before, which makes it even more fun.
Oh, yes.
Yes,
'Cause
for sure.
know. Yeah, I'll try to do that. I'm not real sure where all y'all have been, so I may need to ask you before I assign just to make sure what would be something new to
You
you.
pretty much know where we've been.
I think I do. I'm pretty
think
sure
you
I
do.
I do.
Can't teach an old dog new tricks, apparently.
That's right.
I'm going to share my screen because I'm poking around,
Mhm.
looking on Facebook, looking at pictures. and I was-
Multitasking.
Yeah, multitasking. Yeah, because I wanted to see if.
She's good at multitasking.
Yeah, she is.
So let me
I'm
see.
still trying to figure out where that bottom of that street on your screen's coming from. That's just really
Yeah,
weird.
that is crazy. So behind Carla, you can sometimes see like this wagon with wheels, and that's from
Like
Jefferson.
right here.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's like, what in the world is that coming from?
Yeah,
And
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 all
I
there
can.
is a wall.
yeah, it's just a white wall.
Yeah.
And
But
so
it's not on your screen. We were trying to figure it out before the
Uh-uh.
program started. But that is really wild because where that's at, you're actually standing in front of the con, looking across at the Jefferson Hotel, because that's the brick streets, and that there on the right are the wheels of that thing he's got parked in front of the hotel. That's just wild, isn't it? Well, they
yeah,
wanted to be involved
Somehow
with the
it's not
interview
too
tonight, so they
surprising
just
for
popped on in there.
me.
yeah.
But
And I mean, like, Carla, did you try to put Jefferson as your background on StreamYard before or no?
no.
Okay, well then that,
I mean, I was trying to put a background,
but
but
it
not
wasn't a
like
picture of
a
Jefferson.
no, it was
Well, if
just
it's
like,
not a picture of Jefferson for your background, then I don't know what's going on.
yeah.
Because that was my next guess. Because I was sitting here thinking, like, what could it be? But yeah.
At first, I had tried to do the staircase in the Jefferson Hotel, but because it was vertical and not horizontal, it didn't fit. So I took it out.
Yeah.
And then it got to the point, remember I was telling you, it was just every time I moved, it would distort around the background.
Oh yeah, there's the con with a whole bunch of us standing there.
Yeah, I was wondering because this is what the con, uh, it looks like an older picture. Like it looks different
That was
now.
actually, I believe it was right after they bought it.
Oh.
Right after it was bought.
Wow.
And that was at the end or the beginning of a Ghost Walk tour there.
And everyone, I'm looking at the history, or it's Historic Jefferson Ghost Walk Tour, and I put the link to the Facebook page in the comments if y'all want to check out the photos in there.
Oh, okay, thank you. That
I
way they can go check them out.
Yeah, I was just going through, scrolling through all the different pictures and
Yeah.
funny pictures.
We always got
Yeah.
to put our funny
Yeah,
ones in there.
yeah.
Pretty cool.
Yep,
Wow.
that's the con.
So
Yeah.
y'all can see what it looks like. I just thought it would be a good idea to show a little bit of the
Yeah,
picture
maybe I was
from
trying to
there.
see if maybe you could find one of the ghosty pictures. I'm looking to see.
Yeah.
Because we got
Anybody
some
post
strange
any?
ones in there.
And it's like, different pictures from different places.
Yep,
Um,
that's the con there too.
Yeah.
They're kind of here and there and everywhere.
Yeah.
And we've been putting pictures on there a long time. Some of them you might have to scroll down
yeah.
there a little ways before you can come up with them.
Wow.
Oh, some of the history, hunt, and legend pictures
Oh,
Yeah.
there may be some in there, yeah.
too that y'all can see. The different vendors.
Oh, yeah.
over the years.
Yep.
Fun times.
So cool. But like, look at these houses, just beautiful.
I know. Just going down some of the side streets, it's just like, oh my gosh, I'd give anything.
There's
for
here's
so
some.
many beautiful old houses.
Here's some freaky pictures.
Oh, that's not creepy.
Yeah, right.
Oh man.
That's a little creepy.
Oh, this is is this Jefferson?
That's the Jefferson Hotel. Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh, what in the world? It's like a little girl
That's what it looks
Hiding.
like.
forming.
Wow.
This is what the Jefferson Hotel used to look like.
Right.
Back in the
Looks different
day.
now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, they
Wow.
have a
Wow.
very eclectic collection of antiques and oddities now. It's definitely a little different.
Yeah.
Yep.
Different than it used to be. They've got some theme rooms and
It's just a fun town overall. There's
it
Yes.
really
even
is.
even the restaurants there, they've all got their own thing, their own history. McGarrity's and the Haywood House, and which has really good food.
They've got some neat, and they both have some really neat stories, that's for sure.
Mm-hmm. The cistern room where you
The old
can
cistern
eat.
in the building.
I love that.
Yeah, and that also has the tunnel that goes underneath the building that's been closed up.
I wonder if somebody at some point will try and open those, or if it's just too much of a
You know, I don't
liability.
know. They didn't actually close them off till sometime back in the 80s. They had put in it was called the Texas History Museum for a while, and I believe during that time is when they did, kind of block it off and close them off.
Maybe it was
But
just too. They would have had
maybe-
to have maintained
probably so, yeah.
the
For
walls or
safety
something.
reasons and stuff too, I'm
Yeah.
sure.
But gosh, can you imagine that being
Oh,
part of
yeah.
your tour?
That would be fun.
Oh my gosh, going underneath.
Oh, that would definitely be interesting for sure.
Yeah. Oh
You'd
my
have the above
goodness.
ground and the underground tour
That's right.
with lanterns.
Mhm.
But for
I'm
the
telling you,
underground,
it would be
we've
so
done-
awesome.
Yeah. We've done tours too where you go down to where the bridge is,
Mhm.
and we go follow that little
Trail.
pathway
Mhm.
that kind of comes up where the boat dock is. And it's neat and really eerie to do that at night. They used to have lights that hang down there. I don't know if they still hang down there or not. We haven't done it in the past. Oh gosh, it's probably last summer, I guess.
Yeah.
But it really is neat. And then we end up at the old mill and go in. But it's really,
Oh man,
really
that
fun
would
to be
be,
down there at night.
especially if
man.
there was
definitely has
just like fog coming in or
It
something.
is. I mean, it really has a different feel to it. And we had some men that had gone one night with us on the tour, and he had a story for me. He said that they've been coming to Jefferson for years to go fishing,
Mhm.
and they were down there somewhere close to where we were and had been fishing the day before. And they got spooked by a man that was not there. And they had left all their fishing gear down there and had to go back and get it the next morning
Oh,
because they were all too afraid to go back down there and get their stuff.
Oh my goodness.
Because there's a
That's
picture of
crazy.
that bridge, that old train trestle, where it
Yeah.
looks like a man on the train trestle. I don't know if y'all have seen that before. That one is somewhere posted on our Facebook page. But that
Wow.
was taken by a local photographer, and there was definitely nobody on the bridge.
Wow.
Mm.
So
That is
it's
crazy.
neat.
Is
Crazy the
that
stuff
bridge
that does
still
happen.
used?
It is not.
Okay.
No. It was put in the 1890s. It's called a trip something. Oh, I just went blank on what the name of it was. But it's a brand of train trestle that they made back then. But it's not been used in a long time. The train tracks actually go behind it now.
Oh,
Oh,
okay.
okay. Do they allow people on there, or is it blocked off?
No, no.
No,
When
it's
I
blocked
was
off.
when I was a teenager, people used to walk out there and jump off it into the middle of the river.
Is it that deep?
I was not crazy enough to do that. Probably not.
I was gonna
Well, no,
say.
I mean it is, but That's a scary jump to take. Let me tell you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Find your
Man, oh,
kneecaps
man.
up to your shoulders.
Man, I
Ow.
can imagine.
Yeah.
I'm not that brave or that stupid.
No, I'm with you.
Oh gosh.
Well, thank you so much, Jodi.
Yes.
This was
Well,
such an
y'all have
honor
enjoyed
to
visiting
have
with
you
you. I
on. And
appreciate you having me on so much. I really do.
Yeah.
And I look
It's
forward to
awesome.
seeing y'all and
Mhm.
having a good time here in a couple of weeks.
Yes.
And I'm
Absolutely.
sorry I'm so woo tonight. We were talking about allergies. I was sick our whole spring break. I've been sick for
Ugh.
about 2 weeks and I'm just now starting to feel better. So
It
I
just seems like it's
apologize if my
real bad
brain's
this
not been all
year.
here
It
tonight,
is real
y'all.
bad this year.
Yeah.
Oh.
It's horrible. The
To where the
pine
over-the-counter
pollen's killing
stuff
me.
doesn't even touch it, seems like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All the pine pollen in East Texas, I think.
Yeah.
Shoot.
But I have enjoyed it.
Yay.
Excellent. Well, everybody, check out HHL History Haunts and Legends and give Jodi a call and get your tickets, and you won't be disappointed. It's a fun weekend in Jefferson.
Look
Yes,
forward to seeing
definitely.
everybody.
Jodi's information, you guys, is posted in the comments as well as the Facebook pages and
Mhm.
also the Jefferson ghostwalk.com website
Mhm.
as well. So go check it out. You guys won't be disappointed. Jefferson is a wonderful place, and Jodi is so good at
Yeah.
going through the history and the ghost walk. I mean, you're an awesome storyteller, like just
Yes.
going over the history and everything.
Well, I
Yeah.
appreciate that. I enjoy it. I really do. I really enjoy it.
Yeah, it's
Excellent.
awesome.
Well, thank you again, and we'll
Well,
see
you're
you in
very
a couple
welcome, and thank
weeks.
you for having me. And I will see y'all
Yay!
soon.
Yay!
Y'all
Okay,
be
have a good
careful. We'll see you
night.
soon.
Thanks,
Bye.
everyone. Good
Bye.
night.